I guess I'll lead off in this. I'm wearing the MSR Explorer gear. Rocky Mountain ATV actually purchased MSR. I'm not sure when, but MSR is it's now their house brand, but it's a established brand. I actually had not seen this on my radar when looking for gear. Bob actually picked it up first, so I actually wrote it off right away because I didn't want to copy him and be in the same gear. So I thought I was going to go right for the Klim, thinking Klim's the best, and well, they definitely have the name. I can tell you right off the bat, this stuff is just as nice as a Klim for literally half the price. There's a lot of features on this that don't even come in till the high-end Klims. I'm talking like the Badlands jacket, that's an $1,100 or $1,200 jacket. But really what sold it for me is I did start out buying some Klim, but I'm someone that's always trying to shop for a deal. So I figured the Carlsbad was the right place to go, which is their entry-level off-road. But I think those pants are $600. So I did score a set on eBay for $350. Got them in my size, a 32 waist, and I tried them on. They were too tight in the waist, and then they were absolutely just huge as pants, baggy, which was like, okay. But the other thing that drove me nuts was they did not have front pockets, only cargo pockets. But I'm someone that, my cell phone and my wallet always go in the same place. I want my pockets. So I did end up returning those because they were a little too tight. So shopped the next eBay deal. I bought a size 34 Klim Latitude pants, which is more of their touring gear. And the sizing was just, unless you have two tree trunks for a leg, not that looks matter, but I was absolutely swimming in it. The back came down to about my knees. I hated the way they fit. So I really started with the pants. Bobby had been running his. Every time he came over, I kept picking up the jacket and looking at it. So that's what made me give it a try. So let's get into some of the features. One of the first things I thought was really impressive was this is the super fabric, which is like a welded, it's almost like a rubber texture material. So if you take a spill on the road, like a real spill, that's going to save your skin. But I have also already realized, as soon as you get out in the woods and test yourself a little bit, I've taken 3 or 4 little spills where I'm fine, but you keep doing that in cheap gear, it's, may not hold up. You don't want to rip your gear. So that's a huge feature that, again, Klim doesn't put in until their Badlands gear, which I think the pants are, about $1,000 and the jacket's like $1,100.
Did you tell them what this costs yet?
Let's get right to the cost. So right now on Rocky Mountain, it's on sale, but they've been running this sale forever. The jacket is $399, and the pants are $359.
Mm-hmm.
So you're about $750, just under $8 with tax. So you're just over the cost of one article of Klim gear with a lot of the same feature as the Klim. So what other materials? It is event waterproof material, which is just another competitor to Gore-Tex. Everybody knows the Gore-Tex name, but Event makes a lot of products for camping gear, stuff for REI and all that. So it is breathable, waterproof. The other material is, I'm not sure the name of it, but it has this ripstop in high durability areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your wrists,
down by your ankles.
Down by your ankles where you get some tread, or might get some traction from your pegs and everything.
Right under your ass on the jacket.
The seat of your ass, and
the
then
jacket,
the tail of the jacket, which probably, it's going to run on your seat. So any high friction area or whatever, high use area is ripstop material.
Yep. So they offer it in 3 colors. The colorway you see Devin wearing, which is the black and red. The blue and orange, which is what I got. And then they also offer it in a tan and red.
It's gray.
Gray and red.
It's a light gray. I actually got that jacket in because they did ship me gray by mistake. Real easy to return it. They took care of it. It's a light gray. I'd actually call this more of a charcoal, but they call it black. The super fabric is like a true black.
Yeah, and I can throw up, when I edit this, I'll throw up a photo of the other colorway.
Yes.
In case people want to see that. But so Devin doesn't have much time in it. Actually, you don't have any time riding.
I have not ridden the pants.
You've only worn it in the house.
I wore the jacket once.
Right, so he's only worn it in the house. I actually have a few rides on mine. Now, I bought this a couple months ago, but it wasn't really riding season here in New England, and we had been going out on mild days or when it was like 50. So I have done a few rides wearing the gear, and what I can say so far, my initial impressions, is that it's pretty good. It's a very warm jacket. which is great, and it also breathes. So on the colder days, we went out, it was like 38 degrees, and I had all the vents zipped up, and I was warm. I didn't even have the base layer, the mid layer they call it, that they sell, which is really just a fleece, right?
It does breathe though, you can feel it. So
Yeah.
you have to pick accordingly to what you're wearing. So the breathability is good as you don't get too hot. But if it's really cold in the 30s, you're going to want something of a mid layer. We all have heated gear, so this overheated gear, I think you can't go wrong.
And if it does get too hot, though, you can cool down. There's vents all over this thing. You have vents on the chest, vents on the armpit area,
Yeah,
vents
right here.
down at the bottom of the sleeve.
The other cool feature they built in with the vents Bobby's talking about. So if you go this way with this, you get your wide opening to get over gloves, and get your gloves on, whatever. But if you zip down this way, that's also another arm vent. And then the last bit of ventilation feature is a pretty cool feature Bobby has here, is it has the hooks for your collar, so you can hook your collar open and keep it from flapping around.
Yeah, and that's actually one of my favorite features of this. I was gonna say, if I had to say a pro and a con, or pros and cons, this is almost the top of my list for pros, because as you can see Devin wearing it right now, every time he moves his head down,
Yeah, that's right.
it's hitting your chin. And that is my biggest pet peeve when I'm wearing any jacket, even outside of motorcycling, especially having a beard, something Devin can't do or will never understand. So the ability to loop the corners of the collar down and keep them out of my chin area and under the helmet when I don't need it is great.
The other thing on the collar, for me, I found, unless you have a huge neck, there's a lot of room in the collar. It's hard to reach on yourself, but there is a drawstring on the collar. As a segue, everything on this jacket is adjustable. So you can suck in the arms here to keep them. I got mine drawn in pretty good so that no flapping in the wind there. You can tailor in the waist to your size there. There's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of room there. And
I would
then
say that's more of a chest tailor.
in the middle. And then there are 2 drawstrings on either side, so you can keep the draft from coming up and kind of tailor in the bottom of your waist. So this is a large. I guess, for example, I'm 6 foot tall. I weigh like 175 pounds. I'm wearing a large jacket and a size 32 pants. These fit me as pants. I don't think I did put them over jeans. They barely fit in the waist. I think you ordered up enough a size. You've worn them over jeans, right?
I have worn mine over jeans. I typically wear all my clothes too big. At least that's what they tell me. So I have worn them both ways. I've worn them as my pant, and I've also worn them over jeans. Over jeans, they're a little tight. It bunches up the jeans a little bit, but that's because I ordered my actual pant size for these. But I tend to wear things a little baggy, so I had some room to wear jeans under there. But as far as mobility, they're great. You can bend, you can move on the bike, going, sitting, standing. They're fine. Like Devin said, being able to pull in the areas like the back of the leg, especially for me, wearing a little bit of a baggier pant size, I love that. I can tighten those in to kind of scoop up that extra material.
And then there's 3 settings on the cuff by your boot there. I have mine in the middle, so you can open that wide open to get your boots on. I don't have a riding boot on right now, but I still have a pretty big boot on.
Put your boots on, Tad.
They got the the zipper here with the flap, so you can go up over your boots, get them on and off pretty easy.
That's critical if you're wearing riding and motocross boots.
What I like is there's just enough room. I mean, the Klim pants were like this big on my legs, and they were just like baggy, way too baggy. These, I got room to move. You got the pleats here. There's enough opening to get over boots, but there's not more than enough. There's just the right amount. The stretchy stuff here.
You're not wearing a baggy.
Yeah, it's baggy enough, but I don't look like I'm wearing somebody else's pants that are too big. The super fabric on the knees again, with some leather inlay for grip on whatever. And then while we're looking at the pants, you got your 2 vents here coming in when you sit down. For me, I could deal without the pockets, but I know some guys like storage. And they have normal side pockets. I got my phone in here, which is, everybody carries a phone. That's a plus size phone. So the pockets that actually work like normal pockets. Is there exhaust vents? No.
No, not on the pants. The pants are pretty sealed up in the back. No, there are. There are
See?
exhaust.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. You got intake and exhaust vents on the pants.
See, we don't even know.
So that's what makes this, like, I would call this 3.5 season gear. I'll be honest, if it's 90 out, you're probably not going to catch either one of us in this stuff. If you're diehard for protection, as you know, we probably know better. You could wear it year round, but
You definitely could wear it year round. One of the things that actually drew me into this gear is I was actually watching reviews from the Dork in the Road, who does a lot of adventure riding.
Same.
And he right now is in Mexico, or just was in Mexico, riding for 7 days straight, and he wore this gear the entire time. And he said it was extremely hot down there, and he rode all day, 8 hours. So you can do it. The vents, they do work. They let a lot of air in. So you can ride it in the summer.
so I think that's the adjustability or the convenience of having just the shell gear, because you layer what you need underneath it for temperature. You know, obviously just over a t-shirt for summer. Winter, you know, if it was 30 something, I'd be leaving in a flannel, my heated jacket, and then this, and you'd be more than warm enough. I think the only other main feature we didn't mention right now is it has the spot for a hydration pack on the back.
Here, I can show them on this one.
So I think they sell the dedicated one that goes
They
with
do.
this.
So when you get this gear, it has armor in it, removable armor, and there is a back plate that can go in here. That's what they give you with it when you order it. But you can also add on a hydration pack bladder that goes right here, and they have a hole right in the neck to send it through out to the front so you can drink while it's in there.
To talk about the armor for the guys that are worried about that, or as you should, it's CE level 1 armor. I think you can get upgrades from other companies to a CE level 2 or different levels of armor. I haven't done that much research, but CE level 1 with elbow pads. Mine are still in. You got the elbow pad here.
You still have all yours in?
Yeah, shoulder pad. There's a back pad, and then the pants have 2 hip pads and 2 knee pads. It's really not bad. I'm already quickly getting used to it. I've only ridden in the jacket once, but it is there. You'll be thankful when you take a spill, I guess.
You will be thankful. Something I couldn't get used to, and I'm sure I should, and I know I should, but I took the armor out for now. Subscribe right now. But other than that, I really enjoy it so far. You know, just the little things like the ratcheting waistline. That's great, so you can actually adjust it any way you want. Like Devin mentioned before, the side straps. But you know, just having this ability to suck in the waistline to exact size you need.
My one complaint, but I think all the brands do this, it's part of waterproofing. I wish it had a real fly, so if you want to take a leak on the side of the road, you can, but it's got the rain flap. They all do that. They need it to keep it waterproof, so I guess you just pull your pants down your ankles at the urinal and scare the people around you. I don't know. So with that, we're going to put some real miles on these and get through at least a month or so, or some serious riding. So we're going to table this footage actually, and we're going to come back when we've ridden through some rain, some cold, some heat, and give you more of a thought-out review of this gear.
Yeah, exactly. And we'd just like to publicly apologize that we couldn't get a better-looking model.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's going on, amigos? We're back with the follow-up to our MSR that we started at the beginning of the season. It's now pretty much winter here in New England, and and so we figured we'd come back and circle back on what we liked and what we didn't like about the MSR gear after riding in it all year. And we'll start with the pros, and then we'll head into the cons. You want to start it off?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, like Bobby said, got a chance. We tabled this video from April, I think, when I bought my gear. You got yours a little before. So a whole season worth of riding. And obviously we bought it as adventure gear, but I found myself, this was my jacket of choice all season. I didn't care what bike I was riding. It was the most versatile. Having a jacket that's always waterproof is awesome. I think one thing we quickly learned though is being a Gore-Tex type material, I shouldn't even say Gore-Tex, it's the event material. Very breathable, very waterproof. We definitely proved the waterproofness, but it's not actually warm.
No, I didn't have it leak once, but you had to dress appropriately for the weather.
So that's like a pro and con. So I think it gives you a wide range of temperatures. Like I think up into 75, you're very comfortable. Even 80, as long as you have your vents open and moving, it was comfortable. There's a lot of vents. You know, these two here, arm vents, and then the big ones down your back. After 80, we're definitely both guilty of questioning, giving up some safety to be comfortable in riding a t-shirt. We won't preach about that. So but I guess what, below 50, you gotta start thinking at least like a flannel or a sweatshirt underneath it. And when you get into winter temperatures, because we are gonna keep trying to ride our adventure bikes this winter, you need something windproof underneath to cut the wind, because you can feel it just pulling the air through.
Coming through. There was a lot of times I went out riding expecting this to be enough, and then I was in the cart out telling these guys that it wasn't enough, and I was freezing. So
MSR does sell a base layer. I mean, I'd be curious to try it for you guys, but I'm pretty sure it's just a glorified fleece. So I think it's just anything of your jacket of choice, something that fits underneath it. I have heated gear, so I found a heated gear underneath that was perfect, which I'm always gonna grab my heated gear in winter temperatures, period. So that's not really a con for me, it's just something worth noting.
yeah, no, and like Devin said, it's a double-edged sword, because in the warmer days you want it to breathe, and in the colder days you don't. So can't have it both ways. But the waterproofness definitely is 100% effective. I didn't have it leak once.
Waterproofing with breathing is awesome. We're both did all of our riding before with like traditional like Harley rain gear, just like nylon stuff that doesn't breathe at all. And even though you don't get wet, if it's warm out, you're so swampy underneath you feel wet. This was the perfect answer for that. You're dry, but a little bit of air flow. You don't feel all swampy and sticky underneath, which was awesome. We didn't get to do as much adventure riding as we hoped this year, as far as like straight woods riding. It's just been a busy year for us in life, but I think we both lived in the jackets. As far as the pants, I lived in them for 2 days. We went to Dirt Days, which is a venture bike rally. What'd you think about the pants?
So the pants, I feel, are a little bit on the bulkier side compared to the jacket. I also screwed up and ordered a size that's a little too big for me, so they really feel heavy, and they want to fall down. I could put suspenders on them and stop that, but I may just get a smaller size next season.
Just eat more.
Or eat more, yep. But so I didn't wear the pants nearly as much as the jacket. Like Devin said, I rode my other bikes with this jacket on all year. So the pants, obviously, you can tell are definitely clean, but they work. They're just as waterproof. We had to ride up to Dirt Days this past summer in pouring rain and didn't get wet at all. My clothes underneath stayed dry. They have just as many vents, or if not bigger ones, to let your legs breathe. They got some padding here on the inside, some leather to prevent, rash or anything. And they got the knees covered with, what's that material? The ceramic level
Ripstop, which is just nice for durable, like camping or in the woods in general, just when you're traipsing around. And I think we talked about this in the beginning segment of the video. This ceramic material doesn't come until you get into the more premium Klim comparison, which those pants, I did have 2 sets I bought and ended up returning. And those are more like $400, $600 pants, $1,000 suit. Again, I think MSRP on the pants was
$359 or
$359, and the jacket I think was $400. Or we're saying that backwards.
Could be
Those are the 2
backwards.
prices, but it's definitely a great bargain for the money. You said they're a little bulky, but if you've ever tried on the Klim pants are very boxy. I tried on the pair I bought. These at least have tapers down, where your knees are a little slimmer and then, wider in your thighs. I found the fit to be good for me. I sized mine right. You can suck them in tight over your boots. The only thing I had is Dirt Days. I did the gym short method underneath because it wasn't really cold out. So when I'm on my bike like this, they're a little tight in my knees. And by the time we rode home after a few miles, I actually had like an almost bleeding chafing mark from like this material. But I think they just need to break in some more. I mean, that was literally like the first time I wore them. And they tell you to wash these off, and I've never washed them. So I'll have to put some more miles in the pants at least for this winter.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm still happy overall. I mean, there's no perfect product. So I guess we had 2 different angles too. I accepted all the padding in mine and left all the padding in.
And I did the sin of adventure riding, and I took all the armor padding out because I don't like the bulkiness. I feel like once you're in the woods, I personally feel you need the mobility, and I didn't like where your elbows are locking up on the padding, the shoulders, the back. I think there's a big back plate that comes with it.
You can't take the padding out, you'll be killed.
Exactly. But I know it's a sin when you're riding in the woods, but I figured, this material's better. It's not gonna stop a bone break if I land on a rock, but it's, gonna prevent me from getting road rash. So
So I beg to differ with Bobby. I'm guilty like him. Every other jacket I own, street jacket, I pulled padding out, but I bought this to have it. I think if you just accept it and break the jacket in with the padding, I've got used to mine is all in. I feel like the elbows are broken in nicely, and mine actually follows my body like it should. I got these sucked in a bit here, just below my elbows. I don't mind the padding, get used to it. The one on your back, I don't think you feel at all. So I think you were just impatient personally, but
Some say tomato, some say tomato.
what other features are what? These are great when you are hot, the little hooks.
Oh, the hooks
Keep
make
it
this
open.
jacket.
You got hooks?
So normally with other jackets, when you're riding and you don't have it zipped all the way up under your helmet, this gets all messed up, and especially with the beard. But just the ability once you're off the bike to hook the little loop on the hook there and keep this just out of your face. Greatest feature, I think.
Keeps the beard free.
Keeps the beard and the helmet and all this from getting swatted around in the wind.
I think my only other little beef is the collar does cinch down, but I cinched it enough so like you have to Velcro this all the way up to be tight. But in most cases, if it's not raining, you're just gonna ride like this. I found that while I'm riding, this little pocket here, the way I'm sitting, lets wind down my back. So I find myself constantly trying to like cinch it in more or have to get it. I feel like the diameter of the collar opening is just a little big. I don't know who's next this big, but
Well, that doesn't bother me at all.
so differences of opinions.
So in conclusion, I would say we would definitely both buy this again for adventure gear. I think, and for the price, I think it's some of the greatest gear you can buy right now. It competes with Klim, and it's not Klim price. So that's all you got to say about that. But it's exclusively sold by Rocky Mountain ATV. It's their in-house brand, so it's the only place you can get it. Great price, and they have great customer service, which Devin experienced.
Yep. And even if you don't have an adventure bike, I wouldn't be afraid to try this gear out. I've learned, like I said, I just wore this jacket almost on everything. No matter what you ride, there's nothing wrong with having good versatile gear that's waterproof. That's kind of why I like the plain black. And they did come out with a lighter series, the Voyager, which comes in a little cheaper. I think the pants are more like $200. I'd have to look that up again. I think it just has less of the ceramic and padding and stuff in it. So again, you couldn't go wrong with a good set of gear, no matter what you ride. So I would buy it again too. I'm happy with my purchase. So I'm going to continue to wear it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got some new content coming. It is winter here, so trying to keep the videos coming for you guys, but
It's cold.
yeah. We're not going to stop, so make sure you give us a follow, and thanks for watching.
I forgot what to say.